Here we are again with the set that needs no introduction, and the magician that needs plenty of introduction. True Astonishments, and myself. We've reviewed discs 1 all the way up to 5, now it's time to go on to 6. We've got it right here. Let's get into it, shall we? This would be disc number 6 in all its glory, and this disc features 4, count them, 4 effects. Let's get into them, shall we? We've got Smoking Eye, The Weirdling, Ripton Fried, and Cellmates. We'll start with Smoking Eye. Smoking Eye by Paul Harris. Smoking Eye is a tiny wonder, literally. It's an effect using small paper matches, and essentially the effect is the spectator signs a paper match, that match is burned and then tossed away, and then their signature reappears on another match. This is a great effect for intimate situations. Not the best worker, because of course you have to light a match, and that could cause some potential problems. It's a nice little casual bit, but like I said, it's a very, very small effect. You're doing something using a spectator's name that they've written on a match. I mean, think about how tiny that is. So it's going to, like, I'd say maximum 3 people can really appreciate this effect fully. I can see this playing well. The reactions on the DVD are certainly pretty good. And if this is your sort of thing, if you're into magic with matches, or if you think it would fit well into an existing match routine you already do, then Smoking Eye, I think, is worth a look. 7 out of 10 from me. Alrighty? Next up, The Weirdling by Michael Weber. Now, I love Michael Weber's work. I mean, his book, Lifesavers, is one of my favorites on my shelf. And Michael Weber, yes, so The Weirdling is an effect in which you remove one of those cheap, like, coffee cards that you get at some coffee houses where it's like, buy 10, get 1 free, things like that, they check it off. You take out one of those, it's signed on both sides, and then you flip the card essentially inside out. It's sort of like a card warp without any cover, and the card is examinable at the end. The Weirdling is something I carry with me all the time. My wallet is always set up to do the Weirdling. It's a very cool effect, very unexpected, and it uses a seemingly normal object. I mean, there's so much to rave about here. It's something that, yeah, a lot of people will do. It's a good thing to carry on in your wallet or on you just for a little quick effect if someone wants to see it, and it makes a great little souvenir. It's a very, very cool little effect. The set comes complete with a bunch of gimmick coffee cards for you and you and you out there. And yeah, I can see a lot of people using this. I certainly use it. Good, good, good. 8 out of 10. Ripton Fried is next. Ripton Fried is a new piece of torn and restored card technology by Charlie Fry. Charlie Fry is most known as a juggler, or sort of just a variety performer in a sense, and Ripton Fried is without a doubt one of the gems of the entire set. This is one of a very creative, very clever, diabolical method for the torn and restored card. It has a nice premise. Jay Sankey explored a similar premise to this with his effect T-Bone, in which it's a torn and restored card that looks similar to this. However, Ripton Fried is much cleaner in appearance than Sankey's. However, Sankey's torn and restored has things over Charlie Fry's, and Charlie Fry's has aspects that go above Sankey's, but we're not going to get into that much here. Ripton Fried is essentially a gimmick made on the spot that provides very fair-looking torn and restored with no gimmicks, no pre-prepared gimmicks, no extra cards, no nothing. It's presented as sort of like the sawing a lady in half, because a card is folded lengthwise as the lady, another card is folded widthwise as the box, and then the lady is placed inside the box. The whole thing is torn apart in a very pardon me, a very clean manner, and then completely restored moments later. In Charlie's hands, and I'm sure in a lot of people's hands, this looks beautiful. Most people will at least want to play with this in the mirror, if not use it, and I predict almost everyone will want to try the method. The method is just so cool, so clever. It's one of the best tournament restored cards I've yet to come across, which is saying a fair bit. Now, what I was saying about Jay Sankey's T-Bone and this effect, Jay Sankey's has points in that everything is examinable at the end. In Ripton Fried, not everything is examinable, but luckily, the thing that's not examinable is something that's going to have no heat on it at all. So that's a good thing. And so Ripton Fried, fantastic stuff. I can see a lot of people using this and a lot of people also thinking it's one of the best in the set, and I happen to think that. So it's Ripton Fried, 9 out of 10. This is one of the kings of the entire package. And the last effect is Cellmates by Paul Harris. This has got to be one of the best pickup tricks I've ever seen. Pickup meaning a trick to get a girl. Now, there are a lot of things out there saying you should not use magic ever to flirt with or try to get a girl or a girlfriend. It's just tacky, nerdy. There are so many things wrong with it. However, effects like Cellmates are sort of the, I guess, exception. If you've already established yourself as a magician for your target, effects like Cellmates make a perfect thing to throw somewhere in the middle. Cellmates, in essence, is a deck after being shuffled. Is the spectator makes seemingly random choices all on her own, and with the guidance of the magician, until she ends up. Well, first there's this whole talk about soulmates and blah 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 blah, and she ends up with a handful of cards, and she uses that handful of cards to construct a random phone number. And then she's instructed to use her cell phone to call the phone number and find out who's on the other end, and whoever's on the other end may just be her soulmate. So she calls the number, and all of a sudden you hear ring, ring, ring from the magician's pocket, because impossibly, the one number she generated out of possibly millions of numbers she could have gotten from a deck of cards, that one number is the number of the magician. Very cool stuff. It's a very flexible in the whole flirting aspect, in that if you feel it's not going to go off well, if you know this girl isn't really interested in you, but you're interested in her, if she's interested, this is something great to do. If you have a feeling that she's interested, this is a great way to sort of get into it. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great things about it. But if you feel she's not interested in you, or not as interested as you would hope, it can be played off as sort of a gag or a fun effect. It's still a strong effect, but it's also humorous at the same time, if you want to play it that way. If you want to play it in that just as a flirtatious effect, then go ahead and do so, because this is definitely a great effect for that. So Cellmates, good stuff. 8 out of 10. So, recap. We gave Smoking Eye a 7 out of 10. The Weirdling an 8 out of 10. Ripton Fried a 9 out of 10. And Cellmates an 8 out of 10. Great disc. This is perhaps the best disc of the set so far, but we're only 66% of the way through. We still have 3 more discs, 7, 8, and 9. Will they be as good as disc 6? We'll find out. Thank you for watching disc number 6 of my Paul Harris True Astonishments reviews, and stay tuned for the rest of the set coming very, very soon. See you later.